A couple Bitcoins. Pull up on my Nakamoto.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Blockchain Dynamics Show.
Yes, hello. Good evening or whatever time of day it is.
My name is Brandon Doge.
I'm Woody.
This is Saturday, October 8th, 2016.
Yeah,
And I think we're on show 32.
that's correct.
Excellent.
How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing excellent, man. Another fun week in crypto. A lot of coins up, a lot of coins down. Kind of a mixed bag for me. I had some losers, I had some winners. Kind of turned out to be a wash, I think, overall.
Still got the miner rolling?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep, got it moved out to the garage now. Keeping the garage nice and toasty. It's great.
Perfect. And so this is the Blockchain Dynamics Show, as we mentioned, which is brought to you by Cryptopia, located at cryptopia.co.nz. That is a altcoin platform with many different features. One big one being an exchange. Another one being a forum where you can come and leave us a message, and in exchange for feedback, we love to give people dots.
It's true. If you stop by our thread there in the altcoin section of the Cryptopia forum, we're stickied in that forum, and just leave us a message, and we will send you 5,000 dots.
And dots are the native cryptocurrency of Cryptopia.
Yep. So yeah, definitely stop on by. We had a couple of great comments this week that we
really
wanted
appreciated that.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. So we wanted to call them out. One was from, I don't know how to pronounce his name here, Bitcoin Sigliere.
I wasn't quite sure either.
But either way, he made kind of a nice long post with a bunch of suggestions for the show, which is great. And so we're kind of, in coming episodes, we're essentially going to go through some of those suggestions kind of one by one because they're all pretty good.
Yeah, much appreciated. And the other one was from I'm Just Saying Though. And he gave a couple recommendations of coins for us to take a look at, and so we'll get to those as well.
Yep, this episode we're going to take a look at GeoCoin, which is one of the coins he mentioned.
That's right.
Yeah. Once again, that's all going down on the Cryptopia forums, and a huge thanks to them for giving us that platform.
And I think GeoCoin is actually what we're going to talk about next.
Oh, right. Excellent.
So this is an interesting coin because it has a really cool idea behind it based on geocaching.
Yep.
Where the coins can be placed physically in the world.
Yeah, really cool premise, I think. Just a great idea of a creative way to use a blockchain. So the way it works is it's got like an online wallet, and this wallet has a GPS built into it. And essentially you can drop geocoins around places and other people can pick them up. And so it ties into the geocaching hobby, which for people who aren't really familiar, it's like where people will leave little kind of like stores of trinkets and stuff like deep out in the woods, and you have to hike to them and find them with a GPS locator. And so the GeoCoin plays right into this. Essentially, it's like, oh, not only can you find cool stuff that people have left out in the wilderness, or just hidden anywhere. It could be in cities and stuff too, or just hidden anywhere. Now you can also get cryptocurrencies the same way. So it's a really cool premise, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as the coin itself, looks like it came out in January of 2015. It was really active for a while. I remember this coin traded on CCX for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just hyped up a lot there. I didn't really take it seriously back then, and I wish I had because really all things considered, it's exactly the kind of coin, I guess, that I like to look at or that I like to see these days. And so I don't know why I wasn't interested in it kind of when it first came out.
I like how on their website you can kind of look around and see where there's caches.
Yep.
And they can give you all spots to go to. They're all over the world. I'm surprised.
It's really cool. As always, the utilization of it is not that high compared to, the speculation in the coin. Like, there's, all this huge Bitcoin volume. It's on Poloniex, of course, and a lot of trading around it. And then the actual amount of use that people do of the actual main future turns out to be really small. But that's pretty normal for cryptos.
Right. Yeah. And at the very least, it functions as a normal cryptocurrency, right?
Yep, exactly. I guess it's just, it'd be really cool to see just higher adoption, I guess, as well. But it can be really hard to drive that. And
Somebody would have to stash a pretty valuable amount somewhere.
yeah, the single biggest stash
Would be.
was 1,000 GeoCoins, which I think is worth about $100.
That's pretty good.
So that's a pretty good stash, yeah.
Good enough to take a walk there if you live anywhere near it.
Yeah, exactly. If you could get to it, that would definitely be well worth it. So, yeah, I guess it would just be cool to see more big caches and stuff pop up. I think it would be, whatever whales or whatever are behind this coin, it would be cool if one of the ways that they marketed it was to, really just kind of drop some huge caches kind of all over the place, such that it could actually create some hype that way,
And that's GeoCoin.
Yep. As far as the development on it, I kind of checked. The developer hasn't been very active for a while, but they just recently kind of popped back up and announced a new feature that's going to be like an augmented reality game that uses the coin.
Oh, cool. That's a perfect use for it.
Yeah, it's a good transition for it, and we'll see what the follow-through on that is like, I guess, as time passes. So, yeah, that's GeoCoin.
And I noticed also that it's qubit.
Oh, yeah. Yep, kind of a unique algorithm there. I don't know if that's mainly CPU or GPU mined at this point, but interesting stuff.
So, excuse me, thanks for that recommendation to take a look at.
Yep. Oh, I have another funny GeoCoin story. The other day, this is about 3 weeks ago, I was at work, and I was like, I wrote a list of a couple coins that I wanted to download and stuck it to my phone or whatever. The coins were Zayed and GeoCoin. And of course, when I got home, for some reason, I managed to get around to buying the Zayed coin, but I never got around to buying the GeoCoin. And then, of course, GeoCoin's like 300% or something ridiculous since then. And Zayed coin's down almost completely to nothing.
Uh-huh.
Classic.
Yeah,
Classic.
that'll happen.
So, yeah, win some, lose some, but...
Next up, we're going to look at a few little news bits from around the crypto area. At the top of the list is pretty much the ETH attacks continuing.
Yep, this is kind of probably the main bit of news that we could really find this week. The Ethereum blockchain is still under an ongoing denial of service attack. It's like a combination of a DOS attack, and they're also spamming the network with just kind of pointless smart contracts. And it's it's really slowing down the whole network, essentially. But as far as I know, while the network is slowed down, I still think it seems like the fundamental functionality of it still seems intact. So in that sense, they seem to be doing okay.
Okay, yeah. They've had to do some patching.
Have they? I haven't been aware of any attacks, but I guess I guess that would make sense.
I thought I saw something about a patch, but I'm not running it, so I don't really keep that close up with it.
Yeah, I'm still just pool mining on my equipment, fortunately, so I haven't been.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been really affected by it, but the pool I've been mining at has been kind of on and off, the front end at least, but they've been staying active. One interesting tidbit that I saw in this story was that the attacker has spent over $3,000 worth of ether just in the gas cost alone to spam these smart contracts. So between that and the conventional DDoS, it seems like they're really heavily invested into this attack.
That is maybe more than a lot of people would want to spend just attacking the blockchain, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Without getting any money out of it or anything.
And I certainly don't have any insight into what the motivation behind that would possibly be. There's a lot of speculation, of course, but nothing conclusive by any means.
Up next on the news stack here is Yobit came out with some hilarious new types of ICOs.
Okay,
that we thought we'd share with you.
What's this all about here?
Well, let me tell you an option.
Okay.
The Rocket ICO.
Rocket ICO, all right. What does that mean?
It's the Rocket ICO 10X, and it's got a 10% fee, and then you get a 4X, 5X, 6X, 7X, 8X, 9X, and 10X price walls. So they'll put up price walls for you.
Yeah, but it'll put up the wall.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's really funny, honestly.
Huh.
Just more shady, hilarious stuff from Yobit.
Normal ICO walls, Rocket ICO walls. So maybe the Rocket ICOs don't have to be on the market as long. I don't know. Yobit just pushing those ICOs as always.
We hadn't really seen a ton of Yobit ICOs for a while there.
They're coming back a bit now, I think.
Seems like it, yeah.
We're getting like 1 or 2 a week still. I can't think of a single one that has actually gone on to become like a real project. Can you?
No, not offhand.
So yeah, not a.
I'd have to dig deep to find one, that's for sure.
Yeah, seriously, not a great track record for Yobit ICOs.
A lot of exchanges getting pretty serious about delisting coins, or Bittrex continuing to be more enforceable about their
rules,
volumes.
I guess.
Yeah, their volume minimums.
They've been upping the minimums and enforcing them more, I guess.
On more of a weekly basis rather than, I don't know what it was before. It seemed like every 3 months or something, maybe.
Yep, I guess maybe this is just kind of the other side of the latest boom in altcoins. I think there's definitely a sense that maybe it's slowing down, and we're seeing exchanges now really focus on delisting coins, and they're kind of listing fewer coins overall too, it seems like. We didn't see... I don't think Bittrex had released their delistings for this week yet. There was a huge list on the block last week that we kind of talked about.
Yeah, and they said they were going to actually remove the ones today from last week. That was the date they announced, but maybe it just hasn't quite happened yet, or it has within the last little bit and we missed it. But
they haven't been actually delisting that many, so I'm curious. Because the list was so big last week, I'm curious to see if more than like 3 or 4 actually do get cut.
Yeah, but that would be interesting.
Interestingly, Novaexchange also announced some delistings this week.
Yep, that was a pretty delisting-worthy list, it seemed like. Not really anything too recognizable.
Yeah, as a small exchange, they've really been adding lots of coins. And so it's not surprising to see that a large number of those would need to be kind of dropped.
And CCX also with a nice big list on the chopping block.
Yep. Let's see, in market news this week, the biggest gainers. Number 1 gainer is Pesobit. This thing's up 858%. That's huge. I'm not really sure what the story on the coin is there, but we are going to do a second look at it next week. And so we'll have that for you guys.
Yeah. And then Goldpieces.
Goldpieces. This is an older X11 coin, came out, I want to say like 3-4 months ago. It has been kind of simmering for a while, and interesting to see it up 230% this week.
And then Gulden
plus 175%. This thing's been on a tear for a while.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Yeah, we've talked about, I think, in the past, Gulden just being...
It was either a random coin or a birthday or something at one point.
It had just been so stable in the 400 to 500 price range for, it seemed like a couple of years almost. And now the pump is here, I guess, and it'll be really cool to see where the top is. I think anything could happen with Gulden.
Also Potcoin.
Yep, I wanted to throw an honorable mention out to Potcoin, just kind of a really old, I guess the original marijuana coin. And it's up 109% this week. So that's, of course, a theme that's been copied time and again. And it's always good to see the original doing well.
For loser coins, or coins that lost value this week, Krypton.
Krypton is down 65%.
HitCoin.
Down 41%.
And FoldingCoin.
Down 29%. So some big losers this week, especially Krypton. They just swapped to their new proof-of-stake blockchain. And not a good week for them. We'll see if they can find a floor, or kind of what happens from here.
Right. The next segment we're going to go into are random coin spotlights.
The random coin spotlight. The way this works, we take a number from 1 to 100. We do a random number, essentially, and then we look at that number on the coin market cap rankings, and we'll talk about it. And then we also do a roll from 100 to 400, and then look at that coin. And the effect of this is we essentially get a random coin that has a higher market cap, and then kind of a random obscure coin.
The higher market cap coin this week was Digibyte.
Digibyte. This is just a sweet coin, almost a classic altcoin, I would say.
Got a really huge thread, of course. Lots of still posting going on. They're trading all over the place.
Yeah, this came out in the post-Doge era. Really high supply. Proof of work. I believe it's transitioned. Do you know if this is transitioned to proof of stake, or do they still do proof of work on this thing? I don't know.
I think it's still proof of work.
because that's pretty badass if so. A lot of these proof of work coins kind of gave up in the 2015 era. I'm not sure what the story is still on Digibyte, but
I don't know what the story really is with the gaming portion. I always hear people talk about that a little bit, but I have no idea what that's about.
Yeah, they've got kind of a interesting suite of different features, I guess, things to kind of add on to the original Litecoin clone type format. Oh yeah, looks like it is still mining. Badass. And yeah, they've always been around. This is one of the first coins that I was able to mine, like when we first got into mining with just, those old AMD GPUs. And I traded this on coinmarket.io, which was kind of a funny old exchange that, of course, disappeared with all the money at one point. But yeah, Digibyte's a fun coin.
Yeah. I'm trying to go to their digibytegaming.com, but it's not really loading very well for me at the moment.
Bummer. And of course, it's been going up in value, at least lately. So who knows what could happen to it.
Another random coin that we took a look at, the small market cap one, was Maza coin.
Maza coin. So this coin came out, I think, must have been in 2014. And it was in the wake of Aurora coin. So Aurora coin came out as like one of the original country coins, and they were going to do a big airdrop to everyone in Iceland, and it had this huge pump. Maza coin came out as all this was happening, I guess. And the idea is that they were going to be a coin for a Native American tribe. And just the exact same theme. And it also had just a huge pump behind it. It came out, looks like, in March of 2014. And it had a huge pump right after it came out, up to $8 million. And then eventually dropped down to... Right now it's at about 176,000, so... About, 5% of its original pump price.
Interesting. And it's trading on Bittrex and Cryptopia.
Yep. And it's...
Let's see if it's on the delisting block, or if it actually has some volume.
I don't think so. It's been pretty stable, at least in the range that it is. Of course, nothing like it was when it first launched, but... as far as I know, there's no really development or anything for it. But
yeah, it didn't seem like anything was ongoing, but it seemed like the thread was slightly active at least still.
Yeah, the chain works and people are still talking about it. So, they're doing fine as far as that goes. And I don't see any reason to expect this coin to not kind of be at least where it is for a while.
Interesting low market cap one.
Yep.
And with that being said, we'll jump right into the new posts.
Yep, that was Maza coin. And now we're going to do the new posts. We love the new posts here at Blockchain Dynamics. They're just hilarious.
Yep, and we like to go through most all of them right here on the show.
Yep, it's an easy way to really kind of get the pulse, I guess, of what's going on in crypto, is to see what's going on with the new coins. And, everything started out, at one point as just a stupid new coin post. Almost all of them on Bitcoin Talk.
Most of them. First, the proof of work coins that were released this week, starting with Skeleton Coin.
Skeleton Coin, this is a high pre-mine SHA coin. So not much interesting there. I think it's a longer proof of work.
Just a little Halloween coin, probably.
Yep, trying to take advantage of Halloween, I guess. It's on a brand new exchange called AltX, which, you never know about. There's no buy support or anything, of course. But as always, you got to be careful with new exchanges.
Definitely. Very careful.
I think one of the new ones that showed up disappeared already. I don't remember the name of it, though. Happened a few weeks back.
Another new proof of work coin was BitCoal.
BitCoal. This is a CryptoNight algorithm, so that's the same as Monero, of course.
Yeah, and we're seeing quite a few of these days.
We are, and it's usually if they use CryptoNight algorithm, they're copying the Monero code base kind of across the board, so that's probably going to be the case here with BitCoal. The good thing about it, no pre-mine, so really nothing to complain about there. As far as that goes, I think the chain is having some issues.
Yeah, it seems that they have an update out at the very end there at the thread. So
some problems with transactions and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's sorted out. There seemed to be a bit of interest here. In terms of
At least initial interest, I can see that.
yeah, exactly. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of fail to get these issues solved. If they do, they'll be okay. If not, might be the end.
Also, Checoin.
Checoin. All right, this is a 400,000 block proof of work, so that's kind of long between a long proof of work and a short proof of work, I guess.
Okay.
No pre-mine again, which is nice to see. Cool thing about this thread, this guy named Fuzzballs showed up, and he came up with this cool coin analysis tool that he's coming in all the new coin threads and posting, and it essentially like looks at the wallet and gives you some facts about the blockchain and checks on the code, does a bunch of checks on the code to see if it's legit or
Oh, it's awesome.
a copy or something. So it's really cool little tool that he's been showing off.
Cool.
But as far as the CoinChecoin goes, I don't really see anything special about it either. They're not, it's just got the standard Bitcoin features, nothing special there. They're taking donations for some reason. And I don't see anything about a transition to proof of stake. So 400,000 block proof of work isn't that long. And so I'm curious to know, obviously the chain's probably not going to work with just transaction fees on a low transaction network. So, you always got to wonder what the long-term plan is.
Of course. Another coin up is JobsCoin, in memory of Steve.
In memory of old Steve Jobs, the late Apple CEO.
Yeah.
Tribute
We got
coins.
an X11 algorithm.
It does. It's got some super blocks. Apparently it copies the rewards of a coin that came out a couple weeks ago. So probably a serial shitcoin developer. One of those funny things, it says coin supply of 20 billion, but if you actually add up the blocks, it comes out to I think 10 million or something.
That's interesting.
The Fuzzballs showed up again with his cool checker, pointed out that it had some questionable nodes. That's not uncommon, but it's definitely not a good sign. But otherwise, this coin, as far as the new coin, seems to be doing all right.
Yeah.
It's on Yobit. It's got
nothing glaringly bad.
It's got some buy support, so somebody's putting some money into it. Who could say why? I don't know.
It's an interesting one.
Yep.
Pretty simple. Semicoin,
Semicoin.
our weekly coin from Belligerent Fool.
Yep, this guy's launched basically a coin a week for probably the last, I don't know, say 6 weeks maybe.
It probably has been that long.
He came out with Benji rolls and Currywurst coin. I can't remember what the more recent ones were. They're kind of all blurring together at this point.
Yeah. And then this one is Semi.
But yeah, he launches these. I think they're usually no pre-mine. I don't remember if this one is or not. But I think he just does this for fun or something. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's
Yeah.
actually going to maintain the chains or anything.
Maybe he's testing certain things or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would definitely have no problem with people releasing as many blockchains as they want. I guess it's one of the things you've always said. I'll start to worry, I guess, when people aren't randomly making blockchains. Everyone's just kind of given up.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, that's Semicoin.
Sir Daniel Fortesque coin?
Sir Daniel Fortesque.
Fortesque.
This must be a character from something that I'm not familiar with, but as far as the coin itself goes, it's got a really high pre-mine. It's all pretty sketchy, and the code review tool kind of threw up a lot of flags as well, so
Right.
looks like a loser.
Yep.
Next up is Dark Knights, another proof of work coin, and kind of the same story as the last one. High pre-mine, script proof of work with pretty crappy looking, probably a wallet builders or some kind of similar coin creation service type coin.
Yeah. The big pre-mine really just kills it immediately.
Yeah, it's really easy to kind of rule these coins out, honestly, when they're just putting it right in front of you. The developers used to be kind of sneaky about finding ways to get ahead of the market. Like whether it was hidden pre-mines or code exploits that would allow them to generate extra reward blocks and stuff. And these days they're just like, I'll just do a 50% pre-mine and dump it at 1 Satoshi or whatever. But, the market's going to do what the market's going to do.
That's right. That's all the proof of work coins.
That's it.
Move on to ICO announcements.
ICO announcements.
Starting with Kyoto.
This is a pretty cool looking one.
Got some flashy graphics and stuff. Some well-worded paragraphs.
Yep, exactly. It's at least a coherent theme. It's a decentralized exchange, so not an entirely new prospect. I believe that this one is built on the Ethereum chain,
right,
based on smart contracts.
That's right.
But there's a lot of competition in this sector. They don't really explain what the point of the token is. Like, it's got its own token. They don't really explain, why they would even, if it's a smart contract-based platform, why aren't they just using Ethereum? That's not really explained. And they're getting a lot of skepticism in the thread. A lot of people comparing it to D-Clouds, which is interesting. And apparently something went down. Something must have went wrong with the D-Cloud ICO. Maybe the people disappeared or whatever. And so I guess a lot of people probably got burnt by that and are now, I guess, just hyper aware of the ICO, just how scammy the ICO situation can be.
Right. Some people may have not experienced that before, I suppose.
Right, exactly.
Sort of fell victim.
Well, there have been so many big ICOs, so it'd be easy for someone to be on a roll of like, oh, I invested in Lisk and I invested in Augur and all this other stuff, so I'm going to invest in D-Clouds, and then they get burned or something.
Sure.
And so then they think they're going to, then they're going to obviously post in every new ICO that comes out and be like, scam.
Yep. I remember seeing a lot of that back in the day, especially.
But as far as
much anymore, I feel like not immediate.
No, not as much like red.
It's not just immediate big red text.
Yeah, not as much big red text. A lot more people being just like, hey, watch out. And which is totally fine, I think. As far as Kyoto, I have no idea if it's legit or not. I do have some questions about it. But as always with ICOs, in almost every case, I'd rather just wait for it to start trading and then make a move from there.
The next one is gCell.
gCell. All right, I have in my notes on this one. Very questionable.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't like these ICOs that have no real connection to blockchain technology. Like, it sounds like they're building a power grid to me.
An energy grid backed by Ethereum. Yeah, doesn't it's just not very coherent. Maybe I'm being overly cynical on this one. At least they do have a concept that they're spelling out here, but do they have an escrow on the ICO? How's the ICO conducted? That's always kind of the first question for these.
Right.
Any escrow? Doesn't look like it.
No. They have a white paper, though, so I'll take a look at that. And if it's any good, I'll talk about it on the next show.
Yeah, I think it's probably just another garbage one. We'll see. Oh, nice. They got fake team photos. Love those fake team photos.
Are they looking fake to you?
Oh, yeah. These are extra fake for sure. You should check them out. They're on page 2.
Page 2, cool.
Yeah. And a lot of people calling it a scam. That's the usual story. And
oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what they do with it.
It's okay, cool. Well, another one is Hacker Gold.
Hacker Gold is the next on our list of new ICOs this week.
This one's a little bit interesting.
Yeah, this one looks a lot better. The first thing, they've got Shapeshift doing the ICO, which at least is better than just a Bitcoin address,
Yeah.
I don't really understand why they called it Hacker Gold.
I guess I don't know anything about the hack events that these guys are doing, really, but they're doing their second hack event. Their website is hack.ether.camp.
Right.
And they say that the first place person gets $50,000, so that's quite a prize for whatever they're doing.
And so I guess the platform that they're trying to sell...
It's the second time they've done it.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then, so that's like a cool idea, obviously, of having like a hacking competition with a huge reward. What I don't get is how does that tie into the theme of what the IPO is for, which is for this thing called the Virtual Accelerator.
Right.
Which it seems like almost like an incubator for startups, like business ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't really see how the connection between that and the security competitions is, like, I don't really see how those tie together.
I have trouble seeing that as well at the moment.
But this also seems like this seems like a legitimate project. Like, it seems like they are doing these real competitions.
Right.
And it feels like they're doing a real, a real ICO, not like one of these skeevy ones. So
yeah, it'll be an interesting one to see go forward. There's not a lot of pages yet.
yeah, as always, I never want to endorse an ICO because
No.
especially when they're first announced, there's no way you can really know how legitimate it is. But this is one that I would be looking at least. Read the thread.
Mood Crawler.
Mood Crawler.
These guys are changing the world one mood at a time, apparently.
Changing it up. They're changing it up. Let's see, what are they doing here? They're trying to bring together an environment for this. This is a pretty confusing premise. Mood Crawler is a platform that facilitates and rewards positive human interaction. With Moodcoin.
7 cents each for their ICO. That's so expensive.
Yeah, 7 cents each on 28 million. So that's or 68 million. So that's a huge ask, and not very much information about it. Nah, not into it.
Up next, All Safe.
All Safe. This is a Yobit ICO, so it's about what you would expect. Just a big long graphic. It's going to have like a 1 day pump probably, and then be lost forever.
Not even really much, just a lot of graphics.
Yep.
A lot of just graphical work.
Yeah, a lot of effort, I'm sure. I'm sure people will be shelling it for a few days and then it will be gone.
Yep. eBitz.
eBitz. All right, premise here is that we have a Zcash clone with no founder rewards. So the way Zcash works is like 20% of each block goes into a fund that goes to the developers, or the company essentially. In the case of eBitz, all the block rewards go to the miners, of course, but instead they want to have a 500 Bitcoin ICO. I don't really see what the point of the ICO is. Like, what are they going to do with the money? Why not just
Get those development costs out of the way.
I mean, somebody could essentially, if it's just a Zcash fork with no founder rewards, somebody else could release a coin that does the exact same thing with no ICO, and then it might be interesting.
Right.
In this case, it's probably just a cash grab.
Royal.
This looks like another trade fund-based ICO. People seem to be latching onto this one for some reason, but if I recall, it's just got the straight-up Bitcoin talk address or the straight-up Bitcoin address for people to donate into, which is a huge red flag.
Right. Yeah, there's really no reason not to use escrow.
Exactly.
Even though plenty of successful ICOs haven't.
Yeah, that's true. I think somebody cited Stratus as one recently that didn't. And it's a frustrating situation. There's kind of some fundamental problems with the ICO format in the context of the crypto community in terms of accountability and ways that it can be manipulated. So it frustrates me that people don't at least go to the effort of taking like the first step to make it legit by using an escrow.
Right, exactly.
Even escrowed ICOs, still have issues. We've talked about it before, of developers being able to throw their own money into the ICO anonymously, purchase their own coins for free, essentially. You're still going to get that, but it's mitigated to some extent with an escrow. They can't recycle their own money, for one thing. So
Right. Agreed.
it looks like that's what happened here on Royal Coin. The address shows 25 Bitcoin in, but a very low current total balance in the wallet. So what the developers will do in that kind of situation is, say this guy's got 1 Bitcoin, he'll send a Bitcoin to the account. It's his account, of course, so he can send it out. He'll act like he's sending it to just another wallet to store up or whatever, but he's just mixing it back through the account to try and up the amount received, essentially.
Sure. And that definitely would think that happens.
Yep, so don't buy into it.
SpaceCash.
SpaceCash. This is another...
Somebody taking advantage of the rocket ICO.
Oh, is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
Nice. Good catch.
So that's just another Yobit ICO. I guess they're going to happen sometimes. There's a lot of funny graphics and stuff in this thread.
Yeah.
You need a little laugh or something.
Yeah, I enjoy the ICOs, at least the Yobit ones that don't take themselves seriously.
Right.
If people want to dice roll on them, then that's up to them. That's kind of often the story on Yobit.
Like gives it that more casino feel again, rather than
seriously.
like some sort of trick.
Yep, I agree.
VSR coin.
All right, I have in my notes for this one just terrible. It's a 1,000 Bitcoin IPO, and it just sucks. There's no really low effort, I guess.
Yes, not much to see here.
If you're going to do a low effort ICO, I want to see people ask for a really small amount. Do a low effort post, but ask for 3 Bitcoins or something.
Sure.
Something that might actually give a sense of maybe somebody would buy this whole blockchain for 3 Bitcoins. Everybody knows that nobody's going to buy this for 1,000 Bitcoins, so it just kind of becomes a waste.
That is going to do it for the ICOs.
That's it.
And now we'll take a quick look at some of the relaunches, re-announcements, or pre-announcements out there.
Alrighty. First up on that list is KarmaCoin. This is a guy who wants to swap the KarmaCoin blockchain to a counterparty token.
It seems like he's proposing that. Or maybe he's going to go ahead and do it regardless of what anyone else thinks. I have no idea.
It seemed like he wanted to try and build a consensus, but how can you really ever build a consensus on such a huge transition for such an old blockchain when you're just a community member,
Right.
But other chains have done it, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull it off. KarmaCoin is an old, it's one of the coins that came out in the Dogecoin era.
Yeah.
With really high rewards. It's dropped probably pretty deep into the Litoshi market. I see people trying to shill it on the Yobit Satoshi market, which is that's a cruel trick. One thing that people will do is they'll get if you get the first ask in at 1 Satoshi for a coin that trades in the Litoshi market,
Right.
You can often milk that for a long time, and people will just kind of randomly stumble in and buy for 1 Satoshi on a coin that might only be worth, 2 or 3 Litoshi or something. So you're getting a free 40x off of confused buyers, essentially.
I think that happens occasionally as well. Yeah, people for some reason will just buy those coins without thinking, oh, wait, they probably could be worth less than 1 Satoshi.
Yeah, I have a funny Yobit shitcoin like that called Twerkcoin. That was an ultra high supply coin in the trillions. But I just happened to be one of the first people to get a sell in at 1 Satoshi on Yobit. And I've had it there for a year. I have 100 million up at 1 Satoshi. And they still get hit to this day. Every week I'll get maybe $1 or $2 worth of Twerkcoin will just randomly get purchased against the
Sure.
1 Satoshi thing. That's you got to know it's never going to go up. It'll never be 2 Satoshi.
Right.
So I don't know where those buys come from, but it's just a funny way to exploit the shitty liquidity on these high volume or these high market or the high quantity coins, I guess.
But maybe this swap will work out, and then KarmaCoin will be able to continue on.
Yeah, it would be a lot more useful with a lower supply, which is one of the changes. So,
right.
I'm all for it, I guess.
Nyan
Coin.
And they're always very proud that they were the first officially licensed cryptocurrency in history.
Yep,
they always claim that. I hope that's true.
Yeah.
They definitely were officially licensed.
Yep, they got an agreement with the Nyan Cat guy, which is cool. I respect that. But otherwise, it is just another Dogecoin, kind of post-Dogecoin, high supply proof-of-work coin.
And then there was also a repost of ZCoin.
Was there? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
ZCoin, of course, launched last week. Zcash. Supposed to be a Zcash clone. I don't know to what extent. I guess it's not a Zcash clone. It's a different implementation of the ZeroCoin protocol.
Right.
But we're going to be talking about ZCoin, I guess, a little bit later.
So that'll do it for all the new posts.
That's it. All right, let's look back and see what is interesting. As usual, a large batch of kind of unfortunate shitcoins, but I would say Jobs is fairly likely to do some trading.
BitCoal maybe is not the worst one either, just because of the kryptonite, but it sounds like they were maybe having troubles.
As far as the ICOs, you could watch Kyoto, Hacker Gold. Hacker Gold's probably the most likely to go somewhere in the ICO list.
Okay.
All right, that does it for new coins this week. Next, we're going to do a segment called our Rolling Review.
Rolling Review. And so ZCoin got added to Supernova.
Yep. So, bringing it back to ZCoin. Kind of the point of this segment is that we talk a lot about the new posts, but it can be hard to keep up with the interesting ones over time. And so what we're doing is we got a list of coins that we add to the rolling review, and then we check back up on them every week until we, decide to take them off the list, essentially.
Till we lose interest.
Yeah, basically. So we're starting with ZCoin this week, added to the list last week, just launched last week.
Right.
We're watching it, of course, because it's of the Zcash mega hype cycle.
Mm-hmm. And they had that re-announcement this week in addition to that Supernova listing that I mentioned.
Yep.
And they are on Nova, a small exchange.
Yeah, they're on Novaexchange, but they have huge volume on Novaexchange, like 30 Bitcoin or something. So that tells you right there that there's definitely some money invested in this coin. So that's what makes it interesting. Where you start to worry is when you start to look at what is actually going on with the code base. Supernova essentially had to make a lot of changes just to get it to compile. He compiled the miner for it, which is pretty common as well. And he's also he's just discovered a bunch of bugs and issues with the chain.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to that, he's reported that there doesn't appear to be any actual functioning implementation of the ZeroCoin protocol.
Oh, well, that's what we were wondering last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so I really am interested in watching Zcash clones, because I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity there for miners especially. Just kind of like how Expanse turned out to be for Ethereum. I expect there will be something similar to that for Zcash. As far as the technology goes, this doesn't look like the one, but as far as the markets go, it does look like there's something going on. So I would definitely be very interested in mining it. It's a Lyra 2 RE. Got a huge number of workers on it, like 300 workers on Supernova. So, yeah.
Interesting one.
Yeah, probably going to be a good coin for the people who were able to mine it, especially early.
Right. Pascal Coin is one that's remained on the rolling review for a few weeks.
Yeah, Pascal Coin was launched probably 2-3 months ago at this point. Distinguished itself with a unique code base in the Pascal programming language, an active developer, and a lot of community interest from the start. All great things. In terms of where it's at now, still seems to be active in the development, still seems to be active in the community departments, but still not traded anywhere.
Except on Bitcoin Talk, like inside of threads.
Yep, there's still some over the counter trading going on, which is cool. Now this can be an okay situation. It's kind of a precarious situation for a new coin to be in. I remember this happened with FlutterCoin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a coin that came out a little bit not super unique, but unique compared to what was coming out at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Stayed off exchange for a really long time, but did manage to keep people kind of interested in it, and then it ended up hitting the exchange, of course, at a huge price.
That happened with Vanilla Coin as well. That
yeah,
took
that's true.
A while to get on the exchange just because of the newer code, the different code base.
Yeah, it was difficult.
Difficult for people to implement.
It was really difficult for exchanges to implement Vcash at first. Probably still, I don't know, but I expect that's the same reason that Pascal's not trading right now. And what it's going to come down to is if the developer is serious about the coin and is willing to do, I guess, what is necessary to get it compatible with exchanges and kind of support them in getting the coin listed. I don't know exactly how different the code base is from Bitcoin.
Right, or if that's even what's preventing it from being traded at the moment.
Exactly.
Right.
Is this ground up? I don't know if it's a ground up situation, but
right.
Otherwise, it's got a lot of potential, but it does still have that potential to be like a total, to never really see the light of day. It could just kind of fade away.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I think a really good opportunity probably for CPU miners at least.
Especially the early ones once again.
Yeah, as always,
people
those
that were
early
in
miners.
early. If it gets traded. I have no idea how that's comparing to the buy prices that are being offered in the thread either.
Yeah,
So
true.
Veltor still looking okay.
Yeah, I think looking okay is probably the best way to describe it. The developer is still somewhat active. He's supposedly developing something called the Duplex Micro Payment Channel. I don't know what that means, but he's working on it. As far as the market, it's been pretty steady on Yobit, just low volume. This one, I would say, is less exciting than Pascal and ZCoin right now.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit
Bored of it, I guess.
bored of Veltor, yeah.
Yep. So we're kind of waiting to see if this one's going to go anywhere, if it's just going to kind of live on Yobit and be... It's a different approach to a Yobit coin. I guess that's what attracted us to it to begin with. But as always, at this point...
It was the one that originally didn't have much information and looked like a student that was doing it, right?
Exactly. It looked like a student
really
project.
doesn't anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
With no mention of that at all. So they've really changed their angle.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, it looks contrived in that way, but it also, like, looking at the market, it doesn't look like it was just a quick dump either, so I'm not sure. It looks like it's down quite a bit right now. Well, we'll see. Yeah, Veltor. Zayed coin. I guess I talked about this earlier. I kind of thought that Zayed, they made it to look just like Dubai coin deliberately right off the bat. And for a while, it looked like they might just be like so confident or in your face that that's actually what they were doing. But in the meantime, it's collapsed and priced down to like 10% of what its peak trading was already. And so it seems like it was just kind of a quick con that I fell for.
Might be. It definitely seems like it is going to get off the rolling review for a while.
Yep. But what is funny, so my Zayed coin went down, but every now and then, I'm sure you've noticed some random, just really ancient Yobit coin will blast up like 100x for no reason. That's kind of what they're famous for.
Well, of course.
That happened this week with a coin that I actually had. Spectre, the coin, SPEKTR.
Oh, yeah?
It came out like a year and a half ago or something. I had like 100,000 sitting on Yobit. Just posted on Asks that had been sitting there for a year, over a year probably. And it turned out to be one of those stupid random Yobit pumps. So I cleared not a large amount, like a quarter
great.
Bitcoin, but
that's wonderful.
It definitely more than offset my stupid Zayed coin losses. So yeah, it's just funny. You always see those stupid pumps and you never have the coin. So it was really funny for me to actually have some of the coin this time.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jules as well is kind of catching our attention still because it's getting added to quite a few exchanges and has a really good community and project going still.
Yep, the hype train rolling still on Jules. They hit Bittrex. I haven't had time to keep up with where the project is at in terms of delivering on, the integration with the game and all the stuff that was kind of originally part of it. But I do know the price is kind of back to its stable range that it's been at in the 2,000 to 2,500 range. It had spiked for a little bit and then kind of almost predictably returned to normal once it hit Bittrex. That seems to be kind of the standard lately. Coin will spike on the hype of getting listed on the big exchange and then drop on the actual liquidity of the exchange.
Right. Yeah, we see that all the time.
So yeah, we saw that happen with Jules, but it seems to be holding its 2,000 kind of IPO price floor just fine. And of course, it's going to be up to the developer, Pro4Neva, to deliver on the project.
That's going to do it for our review.
The rolling review, we're probably going to pop Zayed out of the list because it seems like it's basically past its interesting phase. But I think for now we'll keep you posted on the others going forward.
Up next is listings.
Well, we love the listings. What's going on out there?
Well, first, we did mention Supernova listed ZCoin.
Yep, that's a Lyra 2RE algorithm coin that you can mine.
And then over on the exchange sides of things, we have Cryptopia listing BitCoal.
Cryptopia, of course. Don't forget to stop by our thread there in the altcoin section and say hi.
We had Poloniex make a listing, finally.
Yeah.
Augur.
Huge. This is probably one of the biggest stories of the week, honestly, Augur.
Yeah.
We had the Joey from Augur on the show in one of our earliest shows. He was one of our first guests.
Yeah. And at the time, of course, and up until this week, Augur couldn't be traded on any exchange.
Right. They had that pre-sale trading going on at GateCoin for a while.
Right.
And then GateCoin was compromised, so that kind of cast a shadow over that whole aspect of it.
And people were still trading accounts over the counter.
For GateCoin?
No.
Augur accounts?
Yeah, well, they're Ethereum accounts that contain the Augur contracts.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. But now it's on Poloniex. Huge volume, huge price. People are saying 30 times the IPO price or something at the peak.
Right.
So definitely congratulations to the people who got in on that. As far as the price goes, I got confused when it first came out. I had got in my head that the IPO price was in like the 0.02 range. So I saw it at like 0.015 and was like, oh, this is a great deal, I'll buy. So I made kind of a big buy for me at least. And then I kind of didn't think about it for a little while. Then I started checking Twitter and there's all these people being like, oh, congratulations to Augur IPO buyers on your 30X. And I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this can't be the IPO price. Then I realized the IPO price was like, far lower. And I ended up selling at a small loss, but at least I did sell right away before it dropped to 0.01 or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it really went down fast.
Yep. So yeah, funny. It's still a really interesting project as far as the coin itself goes.
Yeah.
I'd be really excited to take a deeper look at this thing and see.
Yeah, now that we're at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember logging into that beta version back then.
Yeah, totally. They had the working beta. We checked it out way back when in February or something. And
yeah,
I would love to see what the progress is like on this because it's kind of almost the flagship smart contract, I guess, now that the DAO is down. And it'll be really exciting to see what happens with it.
And then over at Bittrex, they listed SingularDTV.
SingularDTV. What's the deal here? This is like
I don't know much about this
it's
one
getting
at all.
a lot of volume, a lot of hype. Curious to see what's going on there.
Yeah.
They added also Jewels, of course, we mentioned earlier, and Augur. So they kind of took their dear sweet time adding Augur, but they did get it listed.
Yeah, they did get it listed at least. And it's great to see Jewels on there. And SingularDTV claims to be a blockchain entertainment studio.
Okay.
So that makes it sound to me like they want to
kind of compete with the library, maybe?
Yeah. It implies to me more that they were going to create content, though.
Is it a big IPO? Or is it like a cool, maybe stealthy proof of work or something?
Looks like it was probably an ICO.
Oh well. Oh, well, they're on Bittrex now. There's a lot of attention on it. I'm curious to see what happens with it, but...
Yobit, of course, coming up with some listings.
Yobit. So one interesting thing on Yobit, they got these new listing rules that are pretty funny. They continue to kind of have a weird approach to trying to control the scamminess of the coins on their exchange. So what do we got here? New rules. No newbie Bitcoin talk members. It has to have a Bitcoin talk topic. Your maximum pre-mine is 20%.
That's so arbitrary to me.
Yeah, I know. That's so funny to me. It's like 20% is okay. that's such a high value to begin with. So, and there are also legitimate projects with pre-mines ranging from that run the gamut. They're a lot more scam or kind of just stupid coins that have high pre-mines. But there are coins that have done the high pre-mine thing in a more interesting or useful way, or used it to justify like legitimate IPOs or something like that. So let's see. They also will have banned wallet builders.
Wow, seems like a big step. I don't even
agree.
think that there's any other exchange that might claim that now.
And they also are saying that you have to have working. That it doesn't say working, it just says nodes included in the source code. I would like them to. It'd be nice for them to actually kind of crack down on shitty nodes on some of these chains, but.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Yobit cracking down, I guess. We'll see what kind of effect it has on their market.
Okay. So the ones that they listed, though, were Halloween Coin.
Right.
Opair.
Okay.
Atomic.
Yep.
DPay.
Okay.
And Jobs.
Jobs, that's...
So all some fairly new ones.
Yeah, I think Halloween was just a high pre-mine coin.
Yeah.
Opair was like an IPO, high-profile IPO. Or at least they were asking for a lot of money. I don't know how it turned out for him. Don't remember too much about Atomic and DPay. And Jobs, of course, launched this week, the tribute coin for Steve Jobs.
Right.
That does it for Yobit.
Over at Novaexchange,
Nova.
they listed Nutcoin, Moneta, Halloween, Sincere, Atomic, and ZeroCoin.
All right, so kind of the usual listing of new coins there. The most interesting one there, obviously we're talking about ZeroCoin. Oh, wait, is that ZeroCoin or ZCoin? That's ZCoin, right?
Yeah,
They did add... maybe that's a different coin.
ZCoin is ZeroCoin. It's not Zcash.
Oh, the ZCoin is the ticker for a coin called ZeroCoin? Is that the deal?
Mm-hmm. The one
Okay,
the one
that is what's going on.
we've been talking about. Yeah.
Okay, I thought the name of the coin was ZCoin as well.
Gotcha.
All right, turns out the name of the coin is ZeroCoin.
Right.
Trading on Novaexchange with huge volume for Novaexchange.
Yeah. Good for them for listing something that's getting them a bunch of volume that they didn't have.
Yep, and so yeah, interesting. Next
and then
on
over at Livecoin, they listed E-Dinar,
E-Dinar, that's kind of on all the small exchanges.
Carbonic.
We mentioned that one, kind of an interesting.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. And then Arctic.
Not familiar with that one.
No, me neither.
So yeah, good on Livecoin. They've been adding an interesting list of coins. I kind of like what they've been doing there. And I think that's it for the listings that we could find this week. Going back over the list, I like BitCoal on Cryptopia. That's one of the new proof of works. They're having some chain issues, but if they could get those sorted, that could be an interesting one. Augur is obviously the hugest news.
Yeah, that was another just bam, big volume on Poloniex.
But
thousands of Bitcoin volume.
For me, that's ZeroCoin, ZCoin on Nova exchanges.
For really
somebody that loves new coins, it's cool to see that. And I mean, that's another huge opportunity for miners right there. And it's cool to see, even in a market where people are really skittish about altcoins right now. People are kind of expecting Bitcoin to go up and cause a dump in altcoins. And so there's a lot of people just kind of holding close to the vest or selling alts right now. And so to see coins coming out like ZCoin, where there's still huge opportunity for miners, I love that.
Yeah, I love it too.
And so yeah, that's it for the coin listings this week. Interesting list.
I'm glad that there's such a nice variety of listings going on the different exchanges.
Yeah, I agree. Especially from Polo and Bittrex. Polo hadn't been listed any, and Polo doesn't list anything, so it's exciting when we get something from them.
And I didn't find any birthday-worthy coins.
No, we didn't find any winners for the birthday list.
If I'm
this
wrong,
week.
let me know.
Yeah, if
there was one in the last 7 days. But I did find someone that I figured I could call like very unhappy birthday coin. Because it's one that's not alive anymore, but I remember was Ghost Coin.
Oh, great.
The little Pac-Man ghost.
Yep.
And that became some sort of exploit in the code allowed them to get a lot more coins than they should have over to Bittrex. And I remember Bittrex shutting down the exchange of it, but not before, just there was this massive dump.
Yep.
And it was interesting because I hadn't seen before where eventually it started trading again because some community, I'm doing air quotes because I don't understand who would have donated so much money to get that trading again. It was just like sort of the deficit was paid off to Bittrex, and then it began trading again, despite the fact that it just had a huge exploit on it.
Yeah, I thought that was funny
patched. Too. And I think that kind of changed how Bittrex did things. I think they tightened up security after that,
Yeah,
to some extent.
The GhostCoin kind of exploit was one of the hallmark exploits, I guess, in changing how people thought about new coins. The first one was AsiaCoin. That was the one that had, or one of the first exploit coins that really kind of surprised people was AsiaCoin, and that just had a huge hidden pre-mine. And what happened is the developer released a block explorer that hid the pre-mine, so people just didn't notice it essentially. After that, kind of people changed and said, "Oh well, we need to have a real block explorer before we'll list your coin."
Right.
GhostCoin came along not too long after that, and then it had that exploit, like you were saying. They could kind of they had a way of generating blocks of arbitrary sizes, and so they were generating huge blocks and dumping them on the exchanges. After this coin and a few other scammy coins like it started the push for like code reviews and stuff before listings.
Definitely.
And they started the wave of POD, proof of developer, and that kind of stuff as well.
Right.
Which that became really popular until people figured out how to game that. And the shitcoin developers have still been at it ever since.
Very true.
So yeah, GhostCoin did come out, I think 2 years ago, right?
Yep.
So I guess some sort of weird congrats to them. Otherwise, no real birthdays. We have pretty low standards, really. If your chain got launched and you have a working block explorer
and traded, really, probably don't have to be traded, but I'd be surprised if you get to a birthday point and you just
aren't
anywhere.
Yep. So yeah, that's our coin birthdays segment, and I think that is it for Blockchain Dynamics show number 32.
That was a good one.
Yeah, another great week in crypto. The tense markets are tense right now. I think everybody's a little tense, waiting for Zcash to come out, and it'll be great to see what happens.
Yep, and in the meantime, Augur being the big new traded coin.
Yeah,
likely.
Hell yeah, definitely.
So remember to check us out over at Cryptopia, cryptopia.co.nz if you want to get some dots for giving us feedback, participating with us. Find our thread over in the altcoin section. Love to hear from you.
Yeah, and really big thanks to the people who commented on the thread this week. And we'll be, like we said earlier, we're going to be going through those comments and kind of making segments based on the suggestion for the coming weeks. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. Thanks again.
Peace.
Currency. Like a couple Bitcoins. Money, 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 money,